the doctor look at him and rule him out.
Question on the front.
John Warner, Waco Tribune. Matt, obviously Jacob, a true freshman. What made you think he could handle that kind of pressure situation?
Well, I couldn't sit here and tell you I thought he could. I mean, I have confidence in him. Just that's who we were down to. You know, Gary was hurting. He was hurt all week. He was trying to get it out, really couldn't move. And, you know, if you put a guy out there who can't move, he's eventually going to get hurt. So we said, let's turn to Zeno. And, you know, I think he had 3 or 4 throws last week maybe. He had 3 or 4 throws in his career. And we turned to him and certainly, you know, hit some big plays. But it was really just more a function of, you know, that's where we were at.
Got a question on the left side aisle, and then we'll come up to the front. Go ahead.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Matt, the defense kind of keeping you in the game when it looked like it could get away from you, you know, and then getting a couple of turnovers there to kind of get you right back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't.
Hold on a second. Jeff, do we need to change microphone? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Oh, is it the other mic? Use the other mic. Morgan, over here. Come over here.
All right, so Jerry, I'll answer your question. I didn't think it was going to get away from us. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, they scored. They really scored on 2 big plays to CD, and he's a great player. I mean, they threw an out. He made a great run. They hit that. You know, we checked it a play, and everyone checked it but one guy, and so they hit the other play to CD. But you know, I thought we thought we were going to be able to take away, you know, a lot of the rushing game. Not 100%, but I mean, you know, to hold OU to 146 yards rushing. I mean, and so it was really a function of a couple big plays, like even that last drive for the field goal, the hit or that was leading to the field goal, hit CD on the play there. And then in overtime was really a function of a face mask. You know, we had a face mask to put them down at the 11-yard line. So I thought our defense, other than that, I mean, played really, really well. A couple of, you know, back out of the backfield and, you know, guy blows an assignment. But they made some key interceptions when it mattered, and I think that made them, you know, start to run the ball a little more. I mean, to hold Oklahoma to 23 points in regulation, I don't think anybody's done that in a while. And so I thought our defense played great.
Question on the front, and then we'll go over to the left side.
Hey, Suzanne Halliburton, American Statesman, Austin. Matt, I guess Denzel Mims didn't have any catches, and I guess y'all targeted him, 2 or 3 times?
Well, we called a lot of them.
Yeah.
We just never kind of pulled the trigger and got it to him.
And I wanted to ask, on those last 2, or Zeno's 2 big passes, were those actually the plays he was supposed to run, or was that a bit of him freelancing?
No. That was a design play for Ebner, then a design play for Chris Platt. And but yeah, Denzel. I mean, that's you always have regrets after games. Just the fact, and we tried to get him involved. I thought they did a good job of kind of taking him away, but we had opportunities to probably hold one more second and hit him in the second window and didn't do it. And that's unfortunate because, you know, he's a big part of us being here, and we never quite got him involved.
Second row, left side.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Matt, you mentioned it at the outset that you're disappointed, but you don't want them to hang their heads because obviously they played, you know, a great game. Do you feel like, you know, I know you're just now in the moment after this one, but that you guys will go into whatever bowl game that you go to, you know, not looking at it as like a consolation prize or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say that our track record would be pretty clear that there hasn't been a time where we've played like an entitled group. You know, that's entitlement. When you have a game and you act like you're better than the game, that's there's not a part of us that's that. I mean, they could have quit. You're sitting out there, you're down 10 with 8 minutes left, and you have your third-string quarterback that's never played really a meaningful college football snap, and they played their way back into it. I mean, I think, I told them, I said, get on the bus, root for LSU to beat Georgia. No disrespect to the Bulldogs, but root for LSU to beat Georgia. Let's hope they go to the college football playoff, and they should go anyway in my mind. I mean, I think they're a great team. And let's hope that they go to the college football playoff and represent the Big 12, and let's hope that we go to the Sugar Bowl. And if not, let's go to the Alamo Bowl or whatever bowl people ask us to go play in, and let's play one more, you know, game together. Let's finish as a top 10 team. Let's get to 12 wins, which has never been done. And more importantly, you know, we'll be back. So I told the young guys, like, feel that pain of watching those guys, pull that stuff out and celebrate and let that drive you in the offseason. But at the same time, also understand what we've done, right? Like, we walked off the field, and, Oklahoma fans stood to applaud. And we're not doing it for, fan, but, I think people recognize, even this week, some of the national stuff was, can you believe Baylor? Can you believe how many teams would play with their third-string quarterback and come back and get in there? That's a tough group. So I feel like that's why I said you have nothing to hang your head about. You went in there and you battled. It was just a little bit short. One guy catches one more ball. One guy, that guy doesn't. What a great play by that kid to run Platt down. If he just kind of doesn't make that play, who knows what happens? But that's football. But I think we'll be more than ready to go play again.
We got a question in the front row left.
Yep, Andrew Miner, 24/7 Sports. Coach, first, congrats on the season. Entering the Big 12 championship game, for the general fan, the casual fan, there probably wasn't a lot of optimism facing the Sooners again in a rematch. For those that don't follow Baylor as closely as some of other people do, how would you define your team, what Baylor is, in one or two sentences?
I think you just saw it there. I think action speaks so much louder than words, and again, to lose Charlie, and to go out there and play the way we played, and to hold OU to 23 points, and I just think that that speaks about who we are, and we're a tough, hard-nosed group. We find a way, and we'll get better and better and better every year. This is just the beginning for us. So, but I think that was really who we are.
Shahan J. Rogers, TexasFootball.com. Matt, when you look at when you put Jacob in, it looked like you guys were a little bit more comfortable taking some of those deeper shots. Has Charlie been, the last couple of weeks, limited at all throwing the ball? Is there anything kind of, even before the potential head injury, was there anything kind of holding you guys back with some of the downfield passing stuff?
No. Like the second play that we hit, the first play of the game, the second play of the game was a shot. We took a sack. We had a hard time with number 7. He's a good player. But I think, there was a little bit more like, all right, backs against the wall, we're on the 5-yard line, we throw a double move, fake screen and go. But we called some of those things early. We really had a hard time really getting something going, So we didn't play great, maybe up front all the time, didn't run the ball great, didn't protect. They have some active guys. And then I think last week, last week Charlie aired the ball out. He threw it up over the top early. But just couldn't quite, the one times we called him early in the game, just couldn't quite protect. And it, just kind of been one of the things all year. We've had a hard time kind of protecting at key times.
This final question for Coach.
Yeah, Matt, Brian Davis, Austin American Statesman. I just want to clarify that, did Mike tell you to take him out, or he just said, hey, y'all need to look at him?
Mike DeFee came to the sideline. He said, Coach, could you guys please look at Charlie? So I said, okay, Matt, can you guys look at Charlie? So he didn't like send him out of the game or anything.
Okay.
He had done that in the
Texas game.
He took and sent him out. But he said, Coach, he just doesn't. He seems off when I'm talking to him out there, and which I didn't see. But I said, okay, if someone says that, we're going to obviously act through on it.
Right, and then just to follow up, just how would you describe what you guys showed from your 3 quarterbacks? 3 different guys and 3 different styles, and y'all are still in it at the end. what does that say about the coaching y'all have done at the quarterback position?
Well, I think, I want to make sure I talk about the players first. I think, I'm sad that Charlie didn't get, obviously I'm sad that he's hurt, but I'm sad that he didn't get a chance to play because he's one of the main reasons why we're here. And I would have loved to have given him the opportunity to play that game. I think he deserved the right to play that game. But obviously he got hurt, and that's part of the game. I would have loved to see Gary if he was, full strength. He's really a dynamic runner for us. And, you get hurt in this game. And then for Zeno, literally I don't want to, you have to be careful you don't sound like you ever make, but literally he was the scout team quarterback all week. And then we do Fast Friday, and he was playing safety for the offense to give a look. And next thing you know, he's out there in the fourth quarter. And so, and then what I love about Gary kept saying, no, Coach, let me play. But, if you're a, dual threat dynamic quarterback and you can't run, but he got us back in the game. He drove us down there in the first half, and then Zeno did. So I just think, that's kind of who we are. Clay goes down, Terrell steps up. He's all Big 12. We never want to be one of those programs or those coaches that makes excuses. And I think that carries over to the guys. And so whoever's out there, they just kept going out and playing for them. And, like I said, if that kid, just is a step slower, Platt scores, who knows? If we don't get that, and I say that more for our kids, like for them to hear that, like, you're like a play away. And so I want them to know how good they are. We're a really, really good team. And but you know what? A lot of credit to OU. And I want to say this about Oklahoma. They celebrate at the end, as they should. And that guy Kenneth Murray, now it's twice now. They beat us 2 weeks ago in a heartbreaking loss, and they're celebrating. And it's painful when you see them celebrating right in front of you, right? That kid comes right over to me and hugs me after that game, him and Nevin Gallimore. And then today, they're celebrating, and we're getting ready to pray. And who's standing right there is Kenneth Murray, one of the best players in college football, really, in the Big 12. And you spend so much time seeing people talk about what's wrong. There's him, and there's number 44 for them. I hate they got hurt, Bookie Radley House. And they're both those kids after they beat us the last time and after this game. And those were two great college football games. Those were, we played Oklahoma, who's a top 4 team, and we lost by 3 and we lost by 7 in overtime. That hurts. And how much respect I have for those two kids, that they're the first 2 guys that came over to say that to me. And that's why I love coaching college kids, because you see great stories like that. And I just want to make sure I say that about those 2 guys. But I couldn't have been prouder of our guys. I would have loved to have seen Charlie have a chance to play. Hopefully he's okay. And I think a lot of credit to Mike DeFee for putting health first, and then for our guys to make sure that they follow through on what he said.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Watch your step. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Again, with the student athletes and some additional student athletes will be across the hall in the green room, and it says Baylor, so you should be able to find it. But across the hall in the green room.
These 3 guys are coming.
You got 3 at the podium.
Yeah, we got 3 at the podium, and then there'll be additional athletes across, right? Yes?
Jay will. Terrell, you're the seat. James, you'll be under 20.
Just make sure your name matches.
One more down, Terrell, and then James will be up.
Okay, we'll take questions for our student athletes. Please do us a favor, if you will. When you ask a question, please don't say for all of you. That doesn't help much. If you want to have all of them do it, give us the order that you want it in so that we can work that way. So take our first question from the floor. Who's got a question? We got a question. We'll start on the front, and then we'll move over across.
Hey, Suzanne Halliburton, Austin American Statesman. James, what was the key? What were y'all doing today that was so effective on basically you were thwarting the OU rush, running game, especially from Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, we know he's a great player, so we need to make sure we're in his face and kind of just making things chaotic and trying to take him out of the game. And they made one more play than us, and our game plan didn't end up working for us at the end of the game. But we fought hard and we tried our best. So
We got a question on the front, right side, and then we'll go to the left side.
John Warner, Waco Tribune Hero. This is for Jordan. You saw Zeno in scout team all week. What made you think that maybe he could handle this situation? And what is it about him that you see?
As a young guy, he's really mature. And so, just seeing him, how he throws the ball in the scout team and how he kind of just throws to, like, receivers, and they're just running made-up plays, like their plays, and they're not running our plays. But just seeing how he throws the ball and just how he carries himself, he's going to be a pro.
Question on the front left.
Yeah, Andrew Miner, 24/7. Terrell, could you take me through that play, and James, you can chime in as well, but where Hurts fumbled the ball and the ball kind of bounced off some people and ricocheted halfway across the field, and kind of how that was a turning point for you guys in the first half to, I think it was 10-0 at that point. It was a real turning point for you guys.
yeah, we went into that series knowing we needed kind of a turnover, a momentum shift. And he came up with a big play, strip sack, and caused a fumble and stuff. So and we got the ball kind of down there towards our own goal line. So it was a big play.
We got a question on the left side, 2 rows back.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Terrell, Coach just mentioned it, that obviously you guys are disappointed. You wanted to win this game, but he said he told you guys not to hang your heads. I mean, what's the feeling right now in the locker room, and do you feel like, a few weeks down the road, you guys will be able to regroup and attack whatever bowl game you get?
Yeah, definitely. I know we'll come back and be ready for our bowl game, but this one hurts, obviously. I mean, just this group of seniors, this coaching staff, all these guys, you want to go out there and win the game for them, and we came up a little short, so obviously it's very painful.
Got a question on the aisle left side.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Jordan, can you talk about that interception? What did you see? And maybe, again, it was kind of a big momentum shift for you guys to I think that tied it up when they scored.
Yes, sir. We had a zone drop, and I seen number 2. He fell down, and he got him to start running, and I just kept dropping, and he threw the ball right to me. So it was a big game changer because we flipped the field, and we didn't have to drop the whole field. We were on the 40 or something. So I mean, that was a big momentum swing, and I mean, we try to play for the offense, and we try to get the ball back to them and to let them go make plays. So I feel like that was just a part of our defense.
Questions for our student on the left side, on the outside.
It is Tyler Palmetier with the Norman transcript for Jordan. I'm just curious. I know these 2 games haven't come out the way you guys wanted them to this year, but they ended up being a couple of really classics just from a football standpoint. What do you think you'll maybe look back on and remember about the way these 2 games were played from that general standpoint, maybe someday?
All right. I mean, playing against OU is always a good challenge because, it gets to see how good we really are. And, I mean, the game didn't go the way we wanted it to today and the last time. But, I mean, I feel like that is a testament to what type of defense and what type of players and what type of culture we built here. And, I mean, just going off of that, it's a good way to go into next year to be able to look forward to that and be ready and not come into the game thinking we're not supposed to be there because we deserved every right to be here today.
We got a question on the outside left.
Paul Jones, NBC5 here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Jordan, what makes Matt Rule such a good head coach in your opinion?
He never allows us to be complacent. He never allows us just to be okay with just being good. He wants us to be great, and not in just football, like in life. Like he wants to push us to be better men, better fathers, better everything. And so like he lets it be the players' team. And we led the team a lot this year. It was kind of like he gave us the team, and we kind of just pushed the culture that he was standing for. And I mean, just kept grinding and just kept pushing us. And he taught us the process and just how to keep getting better every day.
Question on the second row, right side.
Jean J. Raja, TextFootball.com. What do you think you gained from this game, just from the experience of playing on the Big 12 championship game stage, and how do you think that impacts the team heading into 2020 and beyond?
I think it gives our young guys kind of insight of what we have to do to get here, and then what we have to do to win. I mean, just playing in the game was a big deal for us from where we've come from, and then just like I said, our young guys, letting them know that this is what it takes to get here.
We got a question on the front row left.
DJ Ramirez, Baylor Lariat. Terrell, what did it mean for y'all to have Clay Johnston out there as one of your captains at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, that was huge. That's something we had talked about all week. Clay obviously is our leader, like one of our leaders. I mean, I feel so sorry for him that he couldn't play in this game, but having him out there as a captain shows what kind of leader he is and what kind of person he is.
Question against the wall on the right side.
James, ready?
Yep.
James, describe trying to contain Jalen Hurts in the running game, which you guys did, but it just seemed to like slip away on certain plays. You never could quite stop him, I guess, in the end.
Yeah, like I said, we knew their offense, they have a lot of weapons, and it's kind of hard to focus on one thing. You got receivers, quarterback, their O-line's good as well. And we had a good game plan. It's just it ended up they just made one more play than we did, and that's kind of how the game fell. And I'm proud of the way we played, but it stings right now.
Got a question on the front left.
James, what specific adjustments did you make to contain Hurts from the Waco loss to today? And how do you continue to use today's experience for whatever bowl game you may be in against another probably highly ranked team?
Yeah, as I keep saying, Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So after playing him, you kind of realize what we have to do to make sure we can contain him and try and contain him. And we did at times today, and also we didn't do it at times today. So we still got a lot to learn. And playing in this game helped us grow a lot as a team. As much as it hurts right now, it's going to help us a lot.
Question on the second row.
James, you'd already set the career mark, 2 sacks today, single season record. What do those records mean? And maybe it doesn't mean as much today, but you setting all the sack records.
Yeah, today, I mean, obviously, I'm not focused on any of that right now, but it's a great honor for me to have that next to my name, that title. So, I mean, I'm not complaining at all, but I'm not really focused on any of that right now. It's kind of more worried about this game and then where we're going to end up and make sure we finish the season the right way for these seniors.
This final question for our student athletes.
After playing Oklahoma the first 2 years and having some trouble against them, to now be here in a position where you're a few seconds away really in both games from winning each of these games. I mean, how much does it say about the progress that you guys have made just as a defense and then as a program as well?
I don't think many people realize in the country that this team is the toughest in the country because we've been through more than anybody that you can ever imagine. The things that we've gone through our freshman year, things that have been said to us, people just thinking that we just don't belong here. So it made us have that little chip on our shoulder and make people realize like who we are, and it made us work. And it wasn't enough today, but it will be soon enough.
Like Terrell said, it's going to push our younger guys forward. It's going to make them grow up and make them understand like what it's going to take to get here. And I just think that we're going out. We got to go out and we got to push for 1-0. I mean, like we got to go next week. I mean, it hurts this week and everything, but it's a cornerstone, and we're going to learn from it. And just the program's going to keep building.
Guys, what was the reaction like when Charlie went down and you knew he was not going to return? And I guess a second part to that question, just your thoughts when Gary and Jacob both came in and had the successes that they did.
I mean, we really didn't know that Charlie had went down until like late in the game. But as soon as we seen Gary out there or Zeno, we just was like, let's go. It's next up. I mean, that's what we preach here. You play like a starter and you act like a starter, and then when it's your time, it's no drop off. It's just next man up.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much, and best of luck the rest of the way.